We're going to find the null space and the nullity of this matrix A. Recall that the null space is made up of all the vectors x satisfying this equation here. A times x equals the 0 vector. So any vector satisfying this equation is in the null space. The dimension of the null space is the nullity of the matrix. So what we're going to do is find vectors that form a basis for the null space, and however many vectors it takes for that basis, that will be the dimension of the null space, or the nullity. The first thing we have to do here is perform elementary row operations to get a reduced row echelon form matrix from A. And after performing those operations, this is what we get. I will leave it to you to verify that. You should be pretty comfortable with reducing a matrix like this. Remember, what makes it reduced row echelon form is that each leading one is in a column of zeros. That's going to be useful for this process to get it in this fully reduced echelon form. All right, once you get it in reduced row echelon form, what we want to do is turn it into an augmented matrix. So we just append this additional column of zeros. This is just the reduced row echelon form, but we've appended a column of zeros. Now this augmented matrix represents two linear equations in 5 variables, and those equations are written here. We have 1x1 minus 2x2 plus 0x3, and so on, and of course both equations are equal to 0. We're only getting 2 equations because the third row is all zeros, so there's no equation there. Then we want to take these 2 equations that come from the augmented matrix, the augmented reduced row echelon form matrix, and solve these 2 equations for the leading variables. So in the first equation, we want to solve for x1, and in the second equation, we want to solve for x3. That's pretty easy, and that gets us here. All we do is move everything except x1 over in the first equation, which just makes all the signs opposite. So it's positive 2x2, it's positive x4, it's negative 3x5, and so on. Same thing with this second equation, we're solving for x3. And thankfully, because we wrote the matrix in reduced row echelon form, the leading variable from one equation will not appear in the other equation. That's because we've got it in reduced row echelon form. And so we can see now that x1 and x3 are dependent variables, and x2, x4, and x5 are free variables with no restrictions in the null space. All right, we're almost done. Now that we've got these 2 equations solved for the dependent variables, we can represent a general vector from the null space. So any vector x from the null space is going to have 5 components, x1 through x5, and we now know how those components must relate. x1, for example, contains 0x1s, 2x2s, 0x3s, 1x4, and minus 3 x5s. x3, on the other hand, contains 0x1s, 0x2s, 0x3s, negative 2 x4s, and 2 x5s. You can see how we use these equations to write this general form of a vector from the null space. Since x2, x4, and x5 are free variables, we see how they just appear as x2, x4, and x5 in this matrix, or column vector, since it is technically just a single column, even though it looks like it's many columns. All right, now let's split this column vector up into a sum of 3 columns, focusing on the important parts, which are the free variables, x2, x4, and x5. So we'll have a column for the x2s, a column for the x4s, and a column for the x5s. And we can just do some copy and pasting here. The first column vector is representing the information about the x2s, and then the second column vector will have all the x4s, and then the third column vector will have all of the x5s. All right, so we just took this general vector from the null space and wrote it as a sum of 3 column vectors. Notice that these 2 things are indeed equal. If we added these column vectors together, we would have that x1 would correspond to two x2s, a single x4, and negative 3 x5s. And x3, for example, would correspond to 0x2s, negative 2 x4s, 2x5s, and so on. Then all we have to do is pop the free variables out of these column vectors, and we will be left with a basis for the null space. So we pull the x2 out of the first column vector, which looks like this. We pull the x4 out of the second column vector, and pull the x5 out of the third column vector. Again, we just took these and pulled the free variables out, and this is what's left. And now we're done. It is these three column vectors, now that we've pulled the variables out, that make up a basis for the null space. So the null space of our original matrix A is the span of these three column vectors. Again, they are a basis for the null space. They are a linearly independent set of vectors which together span the entire null space. And because there are three linearly independent vectors in this basis, the dimension of the null space, which is the nullity of the matrix, is 3. Any vector in the null space, so any vector that is a solution to this homogeneous linear system, any one of those vectors must be a linear combination of these three basis vectors. Now, in this example, I went through some steps that perhaps wouldn't be necessary once you had a little bit of practice. With practice, you could probably jump from this step straight to the final step. Once you've represented a general form of a vector from the null space, you can see that you're going to have a column vector with coefficients 2, 1, 0, 0, 0, right? We see that here. 2, 1, 0, 0, 0. And you're going to have a column vector with coefficients 1, 0, negative 2, 1, 0. We see that, 1, 0, negative 2, 1, 0. And your basis is going to have a column vector with coefficients or components negative 3, 0, 2, 0, 1. And we see that, negative 3, 0, 2, 0, 1. We, of course, don't need column vectors in our basis to account for these, which are all zeros. So we just have those three column vectors. That's how we get the basis for our null space, which tells us the nullity. Hope this was helpful. Let me know in the comments if you have any questions. Thank you for watching.
Reindeer to pick me up and slowly get to know me. We'll unwrap each other until we're never lonely.